am coming at you today barefaced because I am going to do my microneedling protocol for the face. Now, it is slightly different than my protocol at work because of course I'm working on my own self, but I just want to walk you guys through some best practices, the protocol that I do when I do microneedling sessions at home for collagen. I wanted to give you some tips on maybe some needle depth parameters, just kind of a general idea. I will also put in the description box those parameters so that you have a basic idea, then you can tweak them as necessary to your own skin. I also wanted to kind of give you an idea of the things that I use in my microneedling sessions at home. And yeah, so let's get into it quickly. First of all, I have already washed my face. Next thing I'm going to do is I am going to numb my face. I'm going to use this 5% lidocaine. At work, we use a cocktail that is benzocaine, tetracaine, and lidocaine. This 5% lidocaine works very, very well. There's a couple different ways that you can numb your face. You can numb your face and occlude it with saran wrap, like plastic wrap. And you can take off parts and clean them and swab them with alcohol, needle, move on. The way that I do it, however, is that I go ahead and numb my face. I remove all of it with a sponge. I use a sponge. This one I'll get wet. It will turn into a sponge. I will remove my numbing cream. Then I will wash my entire face again, swab my entire face with alcohol, and then I will quickly move into microneedling from the forehead down. Now, part of the reason why I don't always do face and full neck all at once is that's a lot of area, in my opinion, to have lidocaine on when I'm at home. You have to be careful of the risks of having too much numbing in too big of an area. So when I'm in a setting with a doctor, I feel more comfortable that we're in a medical setting and that kind of stuff. But when you're at home, I just would err on the side of caution. So I usually will do my face separately of my neck, separately of my décolleté, and then I will do my hands separately as well, just to always kind of contain the amount of surface of my skin that's being exposed to lidocaine. So with that said, I'm going to glove up and I'm going to get this lidocaine on my face. Then we'll go through some things while I'm numbing. So I like to actually massage the numbing in a little bit, gets the blood circulation going, and I don't want to miss any spots because anywhere you don't have the lidocaine is not going to be numb. I mean, that's just the bottom line. You want to get all the way back here by the front of your ear because we definitely want to microneedle way out there on that perimeter because we actually, as we age, we get some wrinkles out there by the ear. And having really good, tight collagen in the frame of our face helps with lift. It just helps our face to look lifted. So I definitely like to do some serious microneedling out here just as much as I do on the places that we see when we look in the mirror. It's really easy to avoid these areas out here because we don't notice them as much, but they're super, super important. So I am going to let that sit for probably 10 minutes. Okay, so it has been probably 15 minutes. I'm pretty numb, so I am going to go remove the lidocaine, and I'm going to use one of these little sponges, these little guys. I love these. I think they're in a pack of 50. They turn into this. Isn't that crazy? I like them because they are a nice texture. They have 0 scent. They're not, you know, chemical smelling or anything like that. So these are really great sponges and they help to really remove the numbing cream. Then I'm going to wash my face and then I will be right back. So I'm going to go remove all of this numbing. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so I removed all the numbing with those sponges and then I washed my face, and now I'm going to take these alcohol pads. I've already opened them. Alcohol pads. I take a couple of them because they dry fast because of course it's alcohol, and I'm just going to swab down my face. This is just to make sure that our skin is really prepped. But you want to move quickly because it's lidocaine 5% and it doesn't last forever. Okay, so I have swabbed down my face. I'm going to start on my forehead because that is, in my opinion, the spiciest. I am going to put in the description box the different areas of your face and the needle depths that are good. I'll go over that. I'll talk through it as we're going. I want you to know that this hand, my left hand, is going to be touching my pen for adjusting the needle depth. It is the hand that I have to use if I need to stretch my skin taut. So anytime I touch my pen with this hand, I am just going to tell you so that I don't have to show you over and over. I have alcohol swabs that I'm going to wipe my fingers just so that I don't cross-contaminate from the pen to this hand to my face. This hand that is holding the pen is never going to touch my face. It's only going to touch that pen and the brush that I'm using to apply, which is a clean, sanitized brush that is going to apply my hyaluronic acid serum. So I'm going to get that all ready to go. I'm alcohol swabbed up and we're going to start needling. So I have some HA from Cos de Baja on my brush. On my forehead, I'm going to do 0.5. You can go up to 0.75 if you have thicker skin. So I've got my pen set at 0.5. It's a challenge when you're doing it as a video not to touch anything, but you can see the needles moving, and I'm just going to start. Now the way that I do it, you guys, I like to do a little grid. I do 3 passes over, 3 across, and then I go diagonally through that little box that I've made in my mind, and then I move over. I will hit my hairline in a minute. Now, obviously, when I'm doing this, when I'm not filming, I'm looking in a mirror when I'm doing it on myself. Just imagine little boxes and you're just doing a little grid. Now, what's the end point is a good question. So the end point is kind of even erythema, which means even pinkness. And I'm not going for a bunch of blood or anything like that. If I do get a little bit of pinpoint bleeding, that is okay. I'm really just going for some good pink, and that's it. Sometimes I'll make little circles just to make sure I hit everywhere. Then I get up by my hairline, whoo, which can make you want to sneeze. Little tiny strokes or smaller strokes is better in my opinion than really long strokes. I'm going to apply a little more HA. For slip, I stick to hyaluronic acid, high molecular weight hyaluronic acid with the least amount of ingredients, preservatives, fragrance, none of that stuff in there. That's why I like the Cos de Baja. So guys, if in this video I skip any areas, I'm literally using the viewfinder. So this is again at 0.5. When I get to between my eyebrows here, I'm going to keep it at 0.5 because that's what I've done and I'm comfortable with it. But you can do 0.25 between that area and know that you can sneeze. It can definitely make you want to sneeze. Now sometimes with these pen devices, the erythema is delayed. So if you don't see a lot of pink and you've done a lot of passes, move on because that pink might be just coming. It might be a little bit delayed. Now I'm going to move on to my lips, and I want to get them over with. I'm going to do 0.5. You can turn it down if you want. I just do this, and I really just hit the line of my lips. Okay, I do that first. I'm not needling my actual lips. I am numb. Then I like to do this. Vertical, horizontal, diagonal through that little box that I just did. Vertical, horizontal, diagonal. Vertical, horizontal, diagonal. Now, if you have some lip wrinkles, lip lines, you want to stretch the skin taut as much as you can without touching your face. Sometimes if you have deep wrinkles, you do need to use this other hand and help out. You can make faces. How silly is that, right? But you want the skin taut. Here, Go like this. More HA. Anytime that you notice that you're losing slip, you need more HA. Chin, I'm going to move to a 0.75. And that Costa Baja is really good slip. Some people call for, doing circles. That's okay too. Bottom line is you're just trying to put some channels in your skin. So the reason why I do the grid is because it helps me kind of keep track of where I've been. I feel like I can see it in my mind, but it doesn't mean that doing this is wrong. So if you've seen that, that's okay too. Whatever works for you. Just look for that clinical endpoint. Do you see how I'm getting pink? I'm good. My chin is good. Now I'm going to move on to my cheek area. This is going to be a 0.5. Around my eyes, I'm going to do probably 0.25. That skin is super delicate. So same thing. I'm at a 0.5. I'm going to just do little boxes. So microneedling helps you guys not only to induce collagen, but it's also going to help with cell-to-cell communication. It's going to help even out pigment. It really does just help with overall skin health. It is a great way to obviously, induce growth factors and help our skin to just perform optimally. I feel like it's a really great insurance policy for us. So notice that I'm doing the least amount of touching my skin. That brush stays with the HA and on my skin, and that's it. Okay, when I get to the cheek area here, I have to turn it up a little myself. So I'm going to turn it up to 1 on my cheek. But the other thing is, this is bouncy here. So you want to stretch that skin as much as you can. If you need your tongue to get that skin taut, you can. If you need your left hand, as long as it hasn't been touching anything else, you can stretch your skin there as well. Sometimes we have to do that with our nasolabial folds too, is stretch the skin so that we can really get those needles into that wrinkle. So that's with a 1. Do you see how I'm getting some erythema there? I already have it set at 1, so I'm just going to move to this cheek area here. Always remember to do out here, way out by your ears. As I get to this cheek, I'm going to turn it back down to 0.5. So that's good erythema. Now for my nose, I'm just going to do a 0.25. Let me just try to get in there. Now that same 0.25 is what I'm going to use around my eyes. Now a lot of times I do stamping, but actually the recent protocols are to do everything on your ocular bone. So this would be when I would sanitize this hand, and then I'm going to gently pull the skin down and use my ocular bone to, do the work. So hold on. Okay. So I'm just going to, it's 0.25. Very, very gentle. Okay, that is it. That is the entire protocol. Now, here I am, and I have a bunch of hyaluronic acid on my face. Believe it or not, these channels are likely going to be closed in the next 15 to 20 minutes. The current protocols, though, only call for this hyaluronic acid. Now, what you can do if you experience, like it feels like egg whites on your face, or if you have some bleeding, that kind of thing, you can take a shower, run just tepid to warm water over your face. No washing, no nothing like that until you feel like you've released the serum and any of the residue, that kind of thing. And then that's it. That is what you would do until the next day as far as stuff you're going to put on your face. You're not going to put anything on your face. So that is an option if you kind of feel like there's just a bunch of gunk on your face. You just don't want to take a bath. You really don't want to wash your face in the sink. The best way is just, like I said, get in the shower and let that water just kind of, you know, get everything off of your face and do the least amount of touching of your face as you can. So the very next day, you can go back to the majority of your skincare. I like to incorporate the kiwi seed oil at this point. A lot of people have asked how you do that. The way that I do it is typically only at night, and I use it as the very, very last step in my skincare routine because I don't typically use a lot of moisturizer at night. If I was using a moisturizer at night, I would do the kiwi seed oil second to last, and then I would use my moisturizer, and that is it. It is just a fantastic, nourishing oil that aids in kind of the nourishment of your skin as it's healing, and it's going to be dry and tight for the next 3 to 5 days. The kiwi seed oil really helps a lot with that. So in a nutshell, you can go back to business, go back to your skincare routine that you were doing before and just incorporate that kiwi seed oil just to keep it simple here. I did do a video on microneedling serums, and I gave you a breakdown of all of the days that you can use different things during the month. I typically tell people with Retin-A or retinols to wait 3 days before they resume the Retin-A or retinols, only just to mitigate irritation. Actually, it is called for in those first post days 1 through 5. You know, vitamin A is very, very good during that time. You just really need to use your best judgment and consider the irritation and consider the peel, consider your downtime, all of that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave this alone. I will shower probably in a few hours and just let this run off, and then that's it. I'm going to leave my skin alone, and I'm not going to do anything. I'm definitely not wearing any makeup, nothing like that. But I make plans to not do anything when I do microneedling. Okay, so I hope that this was helpful. Definitely check the description box because there will be lots of information. There will be, again, the needle depth information for the different parts of the face. All of the things that I think are great to have at home, which are your numbing cream, your brush, your alcohol wipes, your hyaluronic acid, sponges, gloves, headband, just to keep that hair definitely firmly off of your face. Guys, these headbands, as absolutely ridiculous as I know that they look, they really securely keep the hair off the face. There's no slipping, there's no random hairs coming through. So they're really good. I think they're $10. They're fantastic little headbands. So all of those things are great things to have for a microneedling session. And yeah, now I did, like I said before, I did order the X5 microneedling pen from Dr. Pen. I'm super excited to review that for you guys. It is a cordless device. In the last video, or 2 videos ago when you guys watched this, I kept referring to it as the M5. It's the X5. Something that you really, really, really need to take away from this video is try not to cross-contaminate. Do the best you can to not touch things and then touch your face. It's a little bit hard because you do need to stretch your skin a little bit, but I like to just use my face to do that as much as possible, not my hands. And try to keep the hand that you're handling your microneedling pen only handling that pen and a tool. Never, never, never stop and touch your face with it after you've been touching the pen, touching other things. Just try and keep those things in mind so that you can limit the exposure that you might have to things that you don't want to get into those channels, and that's bacteria and grubbies and gross things. So I really hope that this video was helpful. The neck, the décolleté, the hands, those are all coming. BB Glow is coming. I'm doing a protocol for BB Glow, and